Hello and welcome to today's lesson, which is combining ratios. So if you've seen the last video, then you will have noticed us looking at various different types of ratios. So where it was the total, where it was a specific value, or whether you knew the difference. And in today's lesson, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at combining two different types of ratios. I'm just going to start off with a little task, which is just simplifying. You might have seen this when we did the last video, when we did simplifying 2. I just thought I'd start off just with a nice little task here, which is just simplifying 3 here. So let's get this down. Remember, the only way to learn maths is to be doing it, so make sure this is in your book. This can be example 1 of combining ratios, if you want. Now, some people might be able to just spot what number goes into all of these, because that's what we're going to be looking at. Looking at what number goes into all of these. If you can't spot it, you can just try and simplify it how you want. So here you might want to halve it each time, first of all. So if I halve this, I'm going to end up with, so divided by 2, and divided by 2, you end up with 6 to 9 to 12. Now, you can't halve this one again because of this 9, okay? So that would be 4.5, and we want this to be in its simplest form, so we want to make sure that we are keeping these as whole numbers. So what number goes into 6, 9, and 12? Well, the next number that we can think of is 3. So let's have a look at 3. 3 does go in, so let's divide both of these sides by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. And that's that first little question done. Nice and straightforward. Simplifying ratios, you've got to cancel it down as much as you can. Okay, let's have a look at this question here. Again, I want you to make sure you get this down in your book. So this one here is example 2. So example 2 says the ratio of A to B is, so A to B is 5 to 7. The ratio of B to C is equal to 7 to 6. What is the ratio of A to C? So, the only thing that's in common in both of these is this B. So that's the thing that we need to make the same. Now in this one, we're really lucky because actually it's already the same. So if these are already the same, I can write A to B to C as 5 to 7 to 6. So in which case the ratio of just A to C is going to be equal to 5 to 6. And there's your answer for that one. Now obviously they're not always as straightforward as that because we don't always have this be the same. So let's have a look at this next one here. So this one here is example 3. So the ratio of A to B is equal to 3 to 7. The ratio of B to C is equal to 5 to 6. Find the ratio of A to C. Now, with this question here, we notice that we want the B's to be the same, but they are not the same at the moment, and that's where this gets a little bit trickier. So what we need to do is, the reason I started with that simplifying is because we can divide both sides by something, but with this one, what we're looking at is we want to do the opposite, so multiply both sides by something to make this be the same. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for the lowest common multiple of B, which in this case is 7 and 5. So let's just go through the multiples. The multiples of 7 are 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. The multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So the lowest common multiple of both of these, the number that they both go into, is 35. Okay, you might even want to write on the side, lowest common multiple of 7 and 5 is equal to 35. So what do I need to times this one by to make it out of 35? Well, I'm going to times this one by 5, times this one by 5. Remember, you've got to do it to both sides. 3 times by 5 is 15. 7 times by 5 is 35. What do I need to times this one by to make this 35? Well, this one here I'm going to times by 7 and times by 7. 5 times by 7 again is that 35. 6 times by 7 is equal to 42. And then you've got this B the same. So now we can combine those ratios. So the ratio of A to B to C. We've got the B the same. So it's going to be 15 to 35 to 42. 15 to 35 to 42. Just making sure that's right. So with this one now, we can write, we know that we've got A to B to C, but we only want A to C, which is going to be equal to 15 to 42. So 15 to 42. We can actually simplify that. It doesn't ask us to simplify in this case, but if we do want to simplify that, 3 goes into both of these. How many times does 3 go into this one here? Well, 3 goes into this one. 3 goes into this one 5 times. So 5 there. And how many times does 3 go into 42? Well, 3 goes into 42 14 times. So we can simplify that if you want. This answer would be accepted, so don't worry too much about that. But we can simplify this here if we want by dividing by 3 and dividing by 3. Not a problem with that. Okay, and that's that question done. So just to make sure, we want to combine these ratios. The thing that we're going to combine is the one that's the same, which is B. We can't combine these because the 7 and the 5 are different, so we need to scale them up to make sure that they are the same. The lowest common multiple is 35. Sometimes in this one by 5 to get this B is 35. Sometimes in this one by 7 to get this one is 35. So I can write A to B to C is 15 to 35 to 42, which gives me the ratio of A to C is 15 to 42, which I can simplify if I want. Brilliant. So that was example 3. Let's take this a little bit trickier now. So here, this is more of a kind of a typical GCSE style question. So, Leah and Sam share counters in the ratio where Lee and Lisa, so let's write this one down, Lee and Leah are shared in the ratio of 4 to 9. Okay, that's fine. And Leah and Sam are shared in the ratio of 3 to 5. Given that Lee has got 16 counters, find the amount that Sam has. So with this one here, you've got to think about what we did yesterday and what we've just done. So first of all, I want to find out the ratio of Lee to Sam. And I can't do that because Leah, this one in the middle, hasn't got the same ratio. So I've got to find the lowest common multiple of 9 and 3. Now actually this one's a little bit easier than last one because I only need to change one of these, and it's this one that I need to change. So the way I'm changing this one is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 9 is 9. So I can times this one by 3, times this one by 3, which gives me 9 to 15. So then I can write my ratio of Leah and Sam is 4 to 9 to 15, because these are now the same. 4 to 9 to 15. So there I've got my 3 ratios for Lee, Leah and Sam. And it tells me now that Lee has 16 counters. Now this is really important that you've watched the previous one of these, because actually what this means is it doesn't mean that all of these have got 16 counters. Your starting point is that specifically Lee has 16 counters. So my starting point for this is the amount of parts which have Lee got is equal to this one. So I know that 4 parts is equal to 16 counters. I've combined these ratios, so I need 15 parts. So to do that, I'm going to divide this to get 1 part, and then times it again to get the 15 parts. So I'm dividing this by 4, dividing this by 4 to get 1 part. So 1 part is equal to 16 divided by 4, which is equal to 4 counters. And then to find out for Sam, I need 15 parts here. So I need to times by 15, times by 15. So 15 parts is equal to 4 times by 15, 15, 30, 45, 60, 60 counters. Okay, so that's that one done. I'm going to put another one. These are quite tricky, so I'm going to put another one on and ask you to pause it and have a go at it yourself. So there's that one. I'll make it big for you. So have a go at this one yourself. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at that yourself. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to do this one, and then we're going to have a practice of some of these. Remember to make sure you're getting each of these questions into your book. The only way of learning maths is to do it, so you must make sure you're attempting these, otherwise you're not going to learn. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. So again, it's Max, Leah and Amy. Max, Leah and Amy. Here we have Max and Leah. I've got a ratio of 2 to 3. Leah to Amy has got a ratio of 1 to 5. And specifically it tells me that Max has got 10 counters. Max has got 10 counters. So the first thing I need to do, because I'm trying to find the ratio of, so the amount that Amy has, and I know the amount of counters that Max has, I need to combine these two ratios, okay? And I do that by finding the lowest common multiple of Leah in this case, because she is in both of these ratios. So what's the lowest common multiple of 1 and 3? In that case, it's going to be equal to 3. So let's times this one here by 3. Times this one here by 3. So 1 times by 3 is 3. 5 times by 3 is 15. So now I have Leah the same. I can write these as one single ratio. Max, Leah and Amy. So 2 to 3 to 15. 2 to 3 to 15. 3 is the same. I know a specific value in this. I know that Max has got 10 counters. So my starting point is the amount of parts which Max has got. So 2 parts is equal to 10 counters. I want the amount that Amy has got, which is 15. So I find 1 part first by dividing by 2. Dividing by 2. So 1 part is equal to 5 counters, and I'm going to times that by 15, times by 15, times by 15 to find the amount of parts that Amy's got. So 15 parts is equal to 5 times by 15, which is equal to 75 counters. So Amy has 75 counters. Brilliant. Hopefully you got that right. I'm going to put some questions up here now. So I want you to have a go at these in your book. Make sure you understand all of them. I'm going to pop them up now. So pause now and have a go at these questions. And I'm going to pop the answers up. So mark these in green. And great work on completing this lesson. Hope you're having a brilliant day.